Hello, welcome to NJPW Pro Wrestling Review. We are here to talk to you about the finals of the World Tag League and the Super Junior Tag League. It is finally here, the end of the tag leagues. I sound excited that it's the end, but it was I just had such a good time watching this tournament. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right here is my co-host, Melba. How you doing today, Melba?
Man, I am so excited today. This is the end officially of the NJPW World Tag League and Super Junior Tag League. It has been an exciting and heckin' exhausting. Like, it feels like a month that we have been at this, just going, editing, putting things out there. I've been having a blast, but let me tell you, I am exhausted. But this last show, man, takes the cake for me. I can't wait to talk about some of these matches. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Just got home from work. We're recording. This is being recorded on Thursday. Man, I literally finished watching the shows this morning. I watched a couple of the matches on 1.5 speed. Just not the main two, but speed some stuff up, get through some stuff a little bit quicker. Watched an entire never open weight title match on 1.5 speed, and it actually I think made it a little better. I don't know. These guys
Debatable.
at 1.5 speed, these guys are working like juniors, man.
To see Hikuleo moving at a quicker pace than normal, that would be something to see.
Yeah, very much so. But we are going to get into it, and
Mm-hmm.
we are going to kick it off. First match of the night. It's from the New Japan Dojo, current Young Lions, Kosei Fujita and Ryohei. I can never say his. Ryohei Oiwa.
Ryohei.
Ryohei Oiwa versus the Sauce Hearts, Alex Zayne and Al Lindaman. I had honestly, like, you couldn't ask for a better team to open this than the Sauce Hearts, just for how happy and jovial this team is, and to put them on, and you're giving Kosei Fujita and Ryohei Oiwa such a great spot and great guys to work with, especially with Al Lindaman, who is not he's not regularly part of this company. So these guys getting to work with a guy who they're not probably going to get to work with regularly going forward, it gives you that. And same with Alex Zayne. I hope he is brought back for many, many tours. I love Alex Zayne. I want more of this guy in New Japan. I want him to be the junior champion, if not the heavyweight champion. Like I'm fine with him taking the title from Jay White. I'd be cool with that. And I'm a big Jay White fan.
Hey,
But
I mean, wouldn't that be cool to see him face Carl Anderson for the never openweight title?
oh, please give me some Alex Zayne in the never open weight division. I would love that, man. The never open weight Taco Bell championship, man.
Oh, there you go. The inaugural like the first challenge is a taco eating contest.
That dude. Well, no, Alex Zayne. If Alex Zayne wins the KOPW championship, the provisional title, and he could start challenging people to taco eating contests. Like, dude, the stuff he could do, I think would be absolute.
Yeah.
I would be absolutely I'd be super happy if he took the KOPW title or provisional title and like started having taco eating contests and all, and just lots of food related things. Oh, I come on, that sounds like the greatest thing for the KOPW title next year. 100%.
This was our Alex Zayne appreciation moment.
Sorry, he's one of my favorites. Yeah.
This match was absolutely incredible. Oiwa definitely felt like he was trying to kind of prove himself against Alex Zayne to start this match off. Big fan of Fujita and Oiwa. I really like the pairing of these guys. I feel that we could have a potential a future tag team in these two, just from how well they seem to work together. It's almost reminiscent of Ren Narita and Suji, or Yu Uemura and Suji.
Or 3K 2.0.
Hey, there you go. Salmon Splash on the way. Zayne really kind of teaching Oiwa, though, about his unique style and really showing him that, yeah, you might be a young lion, you got the basics down, but here's how you can kind of go into. Zayne, he's really been enjoying eating his opponents. This two are just nomming on everybody. Oiwa was no different. Oiwa getting his wrists kind of chewed on by both Zayne and Lindaman. But I'm just gonna put out there, Oiwa's wrists probably tasted a lot better than Taguchi's ass.
Oh,
And
100%.
so that we can't complain about that too much. Zayne escaping the Boston Crab from Fujita, I feel like he definitely used his height and size to the advantage on that one, just because
Oh,
Fujita
yeah.
is a little bit smaller. More kind of comparable to like Lindaman in this one. Lindaman just a beast in throughout this one. I absolutely loved it. With the bridging German pin on Fujita to close off this match. I loved this match. Andre, what did you think of it?
The best thing for this, it was a quick opener. It was 6 minutes, 6 seconds. Again, all these times we're going to say are according to Cage Match, but it 6 minutes, 6 seconds. It was very quick, good opener. Got you like primed for what's to come. And especially having like a junior team in Zayne and Lindaman starting it off with essentially juniors in the Young Lions. Man, I a great fast start gets you hopped up. It's like WCW set the precedent in the 90s. Open with some fast cruiserweight and get the crowd ready to go. Man, it's simple as that.
This was a great start to this show. Really sad.
And then we move on to another great match in here. Two teams that we've been, I believe I've been raving about one of them this whole tournament. And then same with Kushida and Knight, who Kevin Knight has just been an absolute phenomenon in this tournament, in the tournament, and getting to come in here against now a heavyweight tag team in TMDK. Again, very great here. I love the new jacket for Kevin Knight with now they have it's the puffy jacket, but now it's a full length puffy jacket, and him wearing the specs, same as Kushida. Mwah. But just hint, Mel. You know, I might want one of those TMDK shirts. You know, just I'm okay with one of those if you want to get me a Christmas present or something. You know.
Come on now, you got to figure out. Who do you support more, TMDK or United Empire?
Oh, damn it. I don't know who to choose. Get me both. No. Oh, God. But yeah, Kevin Knight, there was a great spot where he ended up doing this plancha to Haste on the outside, and then comes right back in and hits a springboard crossbody in the ring onto and just gets this guy's flying ability for how huge this dude is. His flying ability is crazy, man. We've been talking about it, but Nicholls hitting a scoop slam, then Haste getting the Eddie Guerrero senton over the top. I love that I love anybody that does it. Sheik Akbar when he always hit it here. I love it. I just love that the Eddie spot, the Eddie senton. I love that over the top rope. I love that.
Sheik Akbar, I miss him.
Is it? And the end of the match came. Kevin Knight went for the pendulum DDT, but Nicholls comes in and he caught him on his shoulder, and then TMDK hits the tank buster, gets the win, and honestly, great match. It was 6 minutes, 16 seconds. I thought great match. These guys, all of them, had a phenomenal time in this match. They did phenomenally well in this match.
I have to agree. You actually took all of the points that I actually wrote down.
I am so sorry, Mel.
Hey, it works out perfectly because that means we saw the exact same awesomeness within the match. The only thing that I would add is that the Battle of the Jumping Beans was very impressive. Anytime that Knight and Haste were in the ring together, they were just battling for superiority on who could jump the highest, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's just a great match to really not kick Knight off, but and Kevin Knight not in the kickoff match or I guess he wasn't in the kickoff matches technically, but he was in the tournament kickoff matches, and just not having to be the opening tournament match or be the opening match once. It's nice to see Kevin Knight not be the opener match. Yeah, moving up in the world. So we move on to the next match of the evening, and it is a team of Flying Tiger, which is Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles, teaming up with Alex Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd, taking on the United Empires Aaron Henare, the Great Okan, and Catch 22's TJP and Francesco Akira. Do you want to take this one, Mel?
Yeah. This one was a lot of fun. Sassy Pants is still out and in charge. Always love seeing Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask. And he wasn't wearing it this one. I forgot to actually mention it in the last videos, but did you notice the color coordination? I know it was not intentional because Tiger Mask just switches out the colors pretty randomly, but the style of his gear always looks the same. But his pants were giving me like classic, like X-Men, like da 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 da
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
Wolverine vibe.
the blue and yellow color,
Yeah.
and I love that Robbie Eagles, like if almost I think every time,
Mhm.
whatever Tigers they have matching
They
colors. It's not the
match.
same gear, but the color matches, so I'm good with it.
Mhm.
I don't need their gear to look the same. I just need
Mhm.
the color scheme to be. I think that was my biggest issue with Wild Hips the entire tournament. Their
Yeah.
gear
Yeah.
color was just it didn't work. They had the same vests,
Yeah.
but once they were in the match, I was just like, come on, you
Yeah,
just need to be
exactly.
wearing
It's
green
very
tights, or
similar
he
to
need
like Hazuki and Koguma kind of are. They have a
yes.
matching color, but they have drastically different styles based on how they are. And
Yeah.
that's something I really appreciate about the Flying Tigers team. But getting into this match, Coughlin really showing off his strength at the beginning of this one, especially against the juniors in TJP and Akira, taking them both out just repetitively over and over and over again. I was just like, man, you guys got to do something different. Not only are you attacking a non-junior person, but like a full heavyweight, but you're going after the android. Like some of the faces that this man makes when he's buffering, it's terrifying. So you guys just got to take that into consideration.
Wow.
The most impressive thing, though, that I think I've ever seen anyone do is Coughlin catching TJP when they were doing the kind of spots with the cross legs on the floor, catching TJP in the suplex position while he's still sitting, and then standing up with TJP still in that suplex position. TJP, I love you, but man, what a move for you to take, my friend.
Well,
That was
just
super impressive.
it's just the impressive strength of Koga,
Mhm,
and not to say TGP is a small guy, but he is smaller. But to
mhm,
go from a seated position, and that's a lot of TJP, dude. That dude's got core strength to hold himself up like that while a guy's
mhm,
shifting while he's getting up from a seated position. That's a lot for TGP. And then there's a lot of
mhm,
strength needed for Coughlin to keep him up like that. It just,
mhm.
man, that was just an impressive spot, man.
Very, very much so. He really is an android. He is a machine. I might want to get rid of the Tom Selleck mustache, but I kind of like
No,
it. I just
no,
don't
keep it.
know. It creates a lot of confusion in this 80s baby, okay? I look at it and
The
it's just like Tom Selleck short circuit all in one, and I can't handle it emotionally.
the androids must have mustaches.
No, the Melballs must have mustaches on the fingers. I do want to say also, I've really enjoyed Tiger Mask and TJP's time in the ring. The two of them work so very well together. It's very apparent the experience that they have, not just with each other, but just in general. The
Mhm.
double chop that I have been noticing both Kid and Akira do. I don't know if that's a European thing or a Mexican thing, or I don't know where they picked it up, but it's loud.
Oh, very much
Very
so. I've
loud.
Saida does the same thing too. She
She
likes
does,
that double
yeah.
chop. Yeah.
I kind of figured with her it was a size thing because she's so much wearer. But like that being said, Akira was probably the smallest person in this, but Kid certainly was not. So
Hmm.
I do actually like it though. I like the change. It is something subtle and slight, very minute, but it is
Mhm.
something that I do enjoy when people kind of throw something in there because it does make it look like something fresh, even though it is just simply a chop.
Yeah.
Um, United Empire living up to their namesake, extremely united in this match, picking apart the Hantai and Chaos combination team there. Just, just like I said, just ripping them apart, shredding them apart at the end there, with TJP being able to pick up a pin on Tiger Mask. This was awesome. Andre, what did you think of this?
I had, dude, this everything in this match just made me happy. Was it Khan hit a splash, Henare hits a PK, and then Catch 22 hits their electric chair set. Now, just in that, just it's that flow of the team, just be able to continually do that on Eagles. But one thing from Eagles, when he gets a guy on his back with a backpack, like in like a backpack, and then just flips him over, like it only it's because he's pulling him over with the one arm, snap marrying him over into and slamming him.
Mm-hmm.
I love that move. It reminds me of the Code Blue that Tyson Kidd used to do, where you'd have a guy behind him and flip him over and turn it into, like, flip him over in front of him and then turn neck burger. It reminds me of that, but different style, obviously. But it reminds me of that, and just I think every guy, like Coughlin tossing Akira like halfway across the dang ring with that fallaway slam, like, yeah, I think he could have done got the same distance with an RA, honestly, because like Coughlin, just the strength off Coughlin, man. Honestly,
after the interaction they had in the World Tag League, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, and only 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I wish it was longer. Honestly, this was a great match. You could add another good 3 to 5 minutes onto this, and it wouldn't have bothered me at all, man.
100%.
Now we go into the next match, and I'm glad it was only 4 minutes and 54 seconds. I will tell you that right now. For good and bad reasons, I'm sad it was only 4 minutes 54 seconds, because it's one of the last times we're going to see Suzuki Gun as a unit. But it was only we only had to deal with 4 minutes and 54 seconds of House of Torture bullcrap, man. This one was full of bullcrap. But Suzuki Gun is the one team that you can't cheat against them, because they're going to come back at you just as hard, man. I had fun.
Personification of Victoria. They ain't the ladies to mess with.
Yeah. Evil ends up taking Kanemaru out of the chair, but then Archer gets in and just grabs him by the face, and like they're fighting. He's like got like Evil in the corner, and they're just pulling at the chair with each other. It was just funny. There at the end of it was Togo tries to garrote Suzuki, but he gets his fingers in and pulls it, and nope, you ain't choking me. And he gets the rear naked choke and the Gotch style pile driver, gets the win, huge win. And then after the match, gets torture leave, and he sends all the members of Suzuki Gun away. So whatever that he's going to say is serious. And after the match, we got a seriously sad moment. Minoru Suzuki announces that at the end of 2022, Suzuki Gun will disband. I was legitimately heartbroken by it. I sent you the news. You woke up and were literally heartbroken from the moment you woke up that day. I'm sorry, but
couldn't even get out of bed, Andre.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Broke my heart before I got out of bed.
Yeah, I do. This one almost broke me. I'm like, oh. But we are going to get. I'll talk about it. We are getting on December 23rd, and we will be covering it on Chop Talk in about a week or two.
The day of, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna do it, but it's gonna come out the week after. But we're gonna talk about there's a Suzuki Gun versus Suzuki Gun match. We're gonna talk about that match because just give our love to Suzuki Gun, because I love these guys. To me, this group made Lance Archer, made me care about him back in years and years ago, around Wrestle Kingdom 8, Wrestle Kingdom 7 area, when he was teaming with David Boy Smith Jr. and part of the early days of Suzuki Gun. It made me care about Lance. Not that I didn't care about Lance Archer before, but you know what I mean? He was kind of not a guy I ever paid attention to. So we'll talk more on Chop Talk. But yeah, this team means something to me. And them disbanding.
Shout out show.
Yeah. Yeah. This one hurts when I heard when Chris Charlton translated that for me. I was almost ready to cry. I was just like, no, this is one of my favorite teams. But we move on to one of Mel's favorite teams, LIJ, taking on Bebop Tag Team and Wild Hips, Clark Connors and Retsuki Taguchi. Mel, I'm going to let you take this one away. Sorry. Yeah.
This one was actually a lot of fun. I was happy to see the camaraderie and brotherhood happening again between LIJ again, which I have been missing over this tag league thing. Yano.
Not as united as the Empire.
Was that?
Not as united as the Empire.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to agree with that statement. I digress. Yano rushing to start this match, just beaking off the entire time. Not gonna lie, while they were waiting to start this match, I was making my breakfast while I was watching this, so I can hear this idiot across the kitchen. And like at one point, I turned around and I was like, "Dude, shut the frack up! I just want to enjoy my breakfast." And then the match finally started. So with this one, Taguchi helping to throw his team into Sanada. So the Hantai Chaos combo. Actually, that's all Hantai there, isn't it? No, it's Hantai and Chaos. The
oh yeah,
here,
Yano's the chaos of it all.
Yeah, just like the last one, Robbie Eagles, also the only Chaos guy. It's so funny, the camaraderie among Hantai and Chaos, and yet some of them can't play nice together. Talking to you, bad child. Anyway, Taguchi helping to kind of pick apart Sanada there, throwing his team into the corner, being the coach, picking up the plays like he usually does. But he paid for it, and he paid for it dearly by having his tag partner, Mr. Clark Connors, having his face rammed so far up his booty hole there. I'm pretty sure he'll be smelling Taguchi's booty for a few days. That was a really great spot for me. And then when he got caught surrounded by the rest of LIJ, I did appreciate his attempt to be like, can I join? Can I join? To get out of it. Nay, sir. Nay. We don't need your booty in LIJ. That's okay. Bushi took the opportunity to wreck Taguchi's balls after that, giving him quite possibly the nastiest, most meanest treatment of his genitalia I think I've ever seen. Like, Bushi was mad. Bushi, you need to tranquilo over there, sir.
Well, when Bushi was pulling him in, like the way he was flopping, I literally described it. He's just flopping like a stoned fish. Like he was flopping, but it's like a fish who's high, who doesn't know what the hell. Like,
oh. Like a dolphin sucking on a puffer fish there. Oh my goodness. That's a mental picture. Moving on from there, Tana getting into the ring and just wrecking all of LIJ with his dragon screw leg whips. I challenge you to find me a person who does those just as beautifully as Tanahashi. I really, really love how crisp, how tight, how just effective they always look, regardless of how quickly and seemingly sloppily he gets into them. They always come out looking absolutely amazing. The Tope Con Hilo from Teton was absolutely picture perfect, taking out the rest of the members of Hantai and Chaos. I actually can't remember if Yano was in there. Yes, he definitely was. The spike DDT that Naito and Sanada have started implementing in their tag team matches that feeds into Naito's Destino. I absolutely love it. I feel it's super effective. It's a new kind of thing for them to kind of bank on now that they are moving away finally from the evil Sanada combo there.
Evil Sanada. I didn't know we had an evil Sanada.
Well, there wasn't the evil Sanada team back in the day.
I know. I'm taking a joke.
I just feel that Naito and Sanada have struggled since that separation to find that tag team camaraderie that Evil and Sanada were able to have in their run. I feel like this World Tag League was kind of now almost 3 years later, a good way for them to kind of show that they are starting to get to that Evil Sanada kind of level.
Yeah, very much so.
In the end, though, the Destino picking up a pin on Clark Connors. I really enjoyed this match. Andre, what did you think of it?
My biggest disappointment was we didn't get a Destino from Kevin Kelly because he's got a bad. So I'm sorry, Chris Charlton knew Kevin Kelly was having issues. He should have been ready for that. Destino, like it should have been. Chris Charlton should have picked up the slack, and I was like, because even Kevin Kelly earlier in the night was asking him how it was doing play-by-play those for the first couple nights of the show. So I'm like, dude, you know what to do here. Why aren't you yelling Destino? I was a little bit mad, but I still love it.
He was ready for Gino, though. We got to give him props for that. He was ready for the Gino Gambino Doki Choki call if he needed it.
Yeah, but I still love Chris Charlton. Don't get me wrong. No hate on the guy. I love him. But it's just I was slightly disappointed he didn't pick up the Destino because he knew he's probably not going to be able to do it. So he hit it, man. But yeah, honestly, I thought great match. There was a spot where he can't remember who had him, but he had Taguchi in I think it was Teton. Can't remember. Had him got him into like a butterfly DDT and pulled him back and then like spread the legs out.
It was Bushi. It was Bushi. I took a picture of that.
And then Naito just straight up just kicks Taguchi in the taint.
Yeah.
I laughed
I took a picture of that. That was a fun one.
I laughed so hard when I saw that. It was just so good, man. But absolutely phenomenal match. Like 8 minutes, 40 seconds. Again, this is another match. If they would have added 2 to 3 minutes onto this thing, wouldn't have bothered me in the slightest because a little more of this one I would have taken all day, man. Absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Always happy
gonna move.
with LIJ.
So we move on to a 6-man tag match. This is a 6-man tag Wrestle Kingdom preview match right here. You have Kazuchika Okada, Tama Tonga, and Master Wato taking on Jay White, Taiji Ishimori, and Gato. I thought good match. I know we talked about the tag match from these guys on the October show kind of being placed in a weird spot. Where this one I think was at a great spot for what they didn't peak too hard yet, and it was again this show didn't peak until that main event, man. It was just a steady roller coaster up the entire way, and I thought great match from all these teams. Jay White just again, it's that Bullet Club style of wanting to take it to the outside, but he doesn't take it too far like a certain subgroup does. But he does it in such a way like he's running him into the ref or not the ref into the rails. He'll run him into the side of the ring, but he to a point keeps it clean enough while doing some dirty tactics. He keeps it clean enough. And that's what I do appreciate with most of the Bullet Club members is they keep for the cheating they do. It's clean cheating, not just I'm going to swing a chair in your face most of the time in front of a ref and not get disqualified. So. Yeah, and just some great stuff. Okada dodging the attack from the Gato in the corner from Gato and just hitting Gato with the DDT. I love the comeuppance of him DDTing Gato. I know he's beaten him up multiple times over the years since he left him, but it just made my heart feel good. But yeah, where is it?
This is for all that bad booking, Gato.
Yeah. Tama in the end, he gets the DDT on Gato and Wato hits a spiral tap, but then Jay breaks up the pin and hits a Blade Runner on Wato, and then another Blade Runner to running in Okada, and puts Gato on top of Wato for the pin, but also just puts his foot on Okada's chest, just as that little bit of an FU, and they get the pin. So it's a bit of an FU. But honestly, 10 minutes, 51 seconds. I think that was the perfect length for this match. I think longer, it would have gotten into a little too much. With I think 10 minutes, like just under 11 minutes, is perfect for this match. Did it need to be longer? Honestly, like perfect length, and you got everything you needed. You got Jay White taking down Okada in this, and his team getting the victory. I think perfect. And Tama Tonga in this looking very good too. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, looking great. That guy is looking more and more like Tongaloa now than Tongaloa is looking like Tongaloa.
He's getting jacked, man. And I was thinking about him and Hikuleo and Tangaloa going forward. Honestly, I don't see Tama teaming up with Tangaloa again. He has become very much a single star. So I have a feeling on the inside, and please don't hate on this, Mel, because I know your feelings for Hikuleo. Honestly, with the Guerrillas' Destiny going forward, I see Tama Tonga and Hikuleo being the tag team possibly in 2023, while Tama Tonga is maybe in the Never division or in the heavyweight title division. like
Okay, you said the
or the
wrong
U.S.
name, so I
title.
got confused there. Okay.
Did I say the
Okay.
wrong name?
Tangaloa and Hikuleo
That's what I'm
being
saying. Didn't I? Did I say
I
Tama?
heard
I meant
Tama
Tangaloa.
at the beginning. I was like, "What?"
Oh, I meant
No, no.
Tangaloa. Yeah, but I
I
see them
actually
being a team. Yeah,
I
and I
actually
think that's a perfect place for Kuleo to
Mhm,
really gain a lot of experience by being in there. He's not going to have to be in the matches the entire time, but he's going to get so much experience working with his brother,
mhm,
and it's. I think that's only going to because even Tanga Loa coming when he came in to join Tamatonga, I don't think he was quite perfect. He had done some great stuff in WWE as Camacho and stuff, but I don't
mhm,
think he was quite perfect yet. But working with Tamatonga, I think really made Tangaloa such a great professional, turn him into a like as
mhm,
good as he is now. I think that could be a great thing for Hikuleo with Tangaloa.
mhm, mhm. I agree. I agree. I personally think the same, yeah, especially since I actually started thinking that when Tama got his match against Jay White. That was probably the route that they would be taking with the Gorillas of Destiny. But yeah, in this match, Tama was particularly explosive. I felt that everything he did wasn't just a womp, we're going for a suplex. It's like, blah, we went for a suplex. Like it felt like a constant 10 throughout the whole
It could,
match. He was just
like
running
it,
on full.
I think it works for what his history is with Bullet Club. They booted him
Mhm,
out because JY was threatened that he was going to get his leadership taken. So he
mhm,
like there's a pure hatred for Tama in this, and that
mhm,
makes so much sense to me. Is that pure hatred? He should be at it if he's in a ring with anybody from Bullet Club. He should be at a pure 10 the entire time because he
mhm,
wants
mhm,
that
mhm,
to just punish them.
mhm. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of at some point forgot that Watto was involved in the match. Not because I forget about Master Watto. It's hard to miss him. He's cobalt blue. It just he didn't. I felt that there was a lot more focus elsewhere throughout the match, particularly on Okada and Jay White. A little bit more secondarily on Tamatonga and Gato in their kind of musings with that fight. I kind of did feel like Ishimori and Watto did kind of get a little lost in the back kind of fray
Yeah,
of this. Not to take away from them, because when they did get in and have their moment, Watto was sure taking it to Ishimori, and I felt that he did a really great job until Ishimori hit that jumping knee, and it nearly went over Master Watto's head. Just really shows you why the champion is the champion there. But you're absolutely right. I do agree about White with the outside interferences stuff. It is very Bullet Club esque, but it isn't to a point where if it's annoying like it is with the House of Torture. The last thing I wanted to mention about this one is something that Chris Charlton, mentioned at the beginning of the match, which is also a concern of mine, which is the leg wrap that was spotted on Okada's leg. He's had perpetual back problems kind of since COVID, wrestling on a slip disc, which I maybe think was not the best career
no,
choice
not in the
for him to
slightest.
do. I have noticed that in regards to his standing, just his posture, he does struggle even just standing up straight now. And I don't know if that's because of the wrestling or because of this injury. This match in particular, he was having a large degree of difficulty straightening the wrapped leg. Mercifully, though, I don't feel the leg was targeted as much as Jay White usually would target an injury that's usually that
Yeah,
obvious. So I feel that that was good because they were able to make the Bullet Club statement that they were able to make without having to be House of Torturous about it. And
yeah,
I appreciate that.
very much so. It's just because
Mhm,
you never know what's the injuries going in. Like that's
mhm,
always a scary part, man. Like,
mhm,
and could you
mhm.
make it worse? That's the other scary part. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And especially going into Wrestle Kingdom, you would think Jay White would want Okada hindered a little bit, but I am pleasantly surprised that he didn't target it and quite nearly, like he did go after the leg a little bit. It's not to say he completely ignored it, but he didn't target it in the same way Jay White usually would.
yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this match was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely great match. So we move on to the match that Mel, I think, was least looking forward to coming into the show. I know I joked about it on the last show, but the big statement I have to say here: no Doc Gallows.
Yeah, and that was one of the notes in here I wrote down. I was like, Anderson got a cool jacket, no Gallows. Hope, is that you?
Yeah, and then the other thing about his gear, I loved his T-shirt, the Hollywood Club shirt.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
I panicked for a second because I thought it said Bully World, and I was like, you did not. But no, it said Hollywood. I was happy.
Yeah.
But this, just want to comment. I usually am not a big fan of Hikuleo. This match was, I think, the most competent match I've ever seen him wrestle. And the last match I saw him wrestle, what I said pretty much the same thing. So that tells me this guy is improving immensely, which gives me hope because I don't want to be talking badly about him because he's so freaking big he could kill me. But I digress. Hikuleo looked fan-fracking-tastic coming into this match. His gear, very Wakanda Forever inspiring to me. But, like, can we just talk about the gun show? Like, his arms are looking
getting big, man. They're getting swole.
absolutely incredible. He's clearly working out with Tama, and I'm hoping Tangaloa is in there somewhere. The three of them coming out together is going to look hella scary and hella intimidating when you have these three massive Tongan men coming at you. Like, I don't know if NJPW is ready for that, but I digress. Hikuleo definitely took Anderson into the crowd for the first good couple minutes of this match, fighting all over the building. But again, not in it was in a Bullet Club way. Again, Hikuleo being former Bullet Club, Anderson being
Hollywood Club.
Affiliate of Bullet Club.
Well, even Chris Charlton saying, Chris Charlton literally said the Bullet Club is everywhere right now. It's in here, New Japan, AEW, Impact. He even said it's in WWE because the Bullet Club is represented there in a sense as the club. So he's not wrong. Bullet Club is everywhere. It's
not the Bullet Club. It's almost like,
but it's still, but it has two technically has two active members of Bullet Club, or at least one active member of Bullet Club, and Carl Anderson. He is an active Bullet Club member, so. And a former leader in AJ.
Other NJPW factions that are quickly spreading as well. One being LIJ, where you see Los Fascion Ingobernables with Rush in AEW, and then and NROH technically because he just had that title match with Dralistico. But then you also have United Empire. United Empire is going all over the place. They've been on Impact, they've been on AEW, they've been in Rev Pro. Arguably, they're spreading just as much. So yeah, Bullet Club better watch the heck out. Getting back to this match, though, the chops that Hikuleo was able to do on Anderson with the volume that they were, with Anderson still wearing his shirt, absolutely incredible. That kind of noise, that crack, usually only comes on skin. Hikuleo was able to do that with the shirt on. Super impressive. Anderson able to target that leg though, and I feel like this was the beginning of the downfall for Hikuleo in this match. Taking the giant off his feet is literally the easiest, well, not the easiest thing to do, but it is the easiest and most appropriate method to take when you're dealing with a giant when you're a little guy. Hikuleo was able to make a bit of a comeback and hit Carl with a really great lariat. I feel that Hikuleo, the biggest thing that I was critical of him before is that he was not fully able to stand on his own 2 feet. Sometimes he would just slip and fall down or lose his balance and fall down for the weirdest and most random things.
Slippy Leo.
Yeah, Slippy Leo. He was not at no point in this match did he do this. At no point in this match did he look like he didn't know where his feet or legs were and that he didn't know what he was doing. That is a tremendous amount of growth that I have to commend him for, because it's hard. Like, walking is hard, guys. Just saying.
Never had
the
trouble.
Spine Buster by Anderson. absolutely amazing. Like, never have I seen such a crisp and good one since the days of Triple H. And to pull it off on Hikuleo, absolutely incredible. Um, Reversing the choke slam into a gun stun by Anderson. Absolutely incredible at the end of that match, to pick up the win after the distraction on the outside. Jackto and Gato were on the outside. I personally don't feel, I feel they were a distraction, if anything. I don't feel that either one of them was required. And I don't really feel, though there was an active distraction in the match, like in the ring at that time, I don't feel that Gato and Jackto were a factor in this match.
No,
I
no, and
feel
I
that
think
that
yeah.
yeah, what Hikuleo did, what Anderson did, they all did on their own fruition, with or without Jack Dorigato. They were just there to be a little distraction.
Oh, very
And
much so. Just to that point, just before we get on to what happened after that,
of course.
that snap power slam by Hikuleo when he grabbed it and just like Randy Orton snap speed style
Hmm.
looked so good, man. And then
Very
right
cool.
off the what is it? Right at the start of the match, I think it was like the
Mm.
first move. Hikuleo just grabbed him out of the throat and tree slammed him.
Hmm.
I was like, are we getting a Yujiro in this? Is he taking the title off Neff ass? But I was like, no, there's no way. And he
Yeah,
only got a 2 out of it, but it was just like, okay, good. It was like I would have been
yeah.
I think I would have been a little mad if he Yujiro'd him in this one where he kicked the crap out of Yujiro, then he just put him in the ring and put him down. But like I
Hmm.
would have been kind of mad because like I am a Carl Anderson fan. I really like this guy. He's like his tag stuff with Gallows leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion. They're not
Hmm.
bad. I don't think they're a bad team, but I think Carl Anderson is such a great singles worker. He was a lot of crazy potential for him back in the day. Never got to that level, but I think he's absolutely phenomenal when he's in there one on one with people because he can work to any style, in my opinion. That's
Hmm.
why I think he
Hmm.
worked so well with Hikuleo in this. But after the match, that's where I think it really comes off. Is Tonga comes down to the ring and they kind of get into it. And Carl's saying he will be the champ forever. Then they get into a brawl. Tama tries to gun stun Carl. No, 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 boy. You don't gun stun the gun stun master because you're going to get gun stunned yourself. And Carl hit the gun stun. And then he literally gets up and says, Carl says he will see Tama at Wrestle Kingdom, bitch.
Sounds to me like Mr. Anderson owes a certain local person some royalties with his little forever thing.
I don't. Yeah, he doesn't have the trademark, so you can't get royalties if you don't have a trademark.
Hey, I mean, the locals could use the royalties, right? We can use the sponsorship. Mr. Anderson, you owe Top Talent some money,
Mm.
or you can
Just,
show up.
you can
Either
send it to
one.
me and Mel. We'll get it to them.
Yes, get it to them. The only last thing that I wanted to mention is naughty, naughty Kevin Kelly. You swearing, naughty sir. Think of the children. Think of the children.
It's because his throat's hurting. He has to swear. His throat's feeling bad, so he's got to swear a little bit.
Oh, what a match this was. This one was fun. I am
Yeah,
looking forward to the match at Wrestle Kingdom, and I am hoping that our good friend Tomatonga can send this one back. Return
yeah,
to sender.
yeah. I hope so too. I really do. Because like again, and not nothing again. I really like Carl Anderson. It's just I think the title like it's the same way I feel. I love FTR, but the titles need to come back to New Japan and be
Hmm.
there being defended like semi. Obviously, they don't get defended every show, but being defended semi regularly,
Hmm.
not once every 2 or 3 months. It needs to
Oh,
be done
absolutely.
on at the end of during every tour. The champions need
Yeah.
to be there. Like maybe Leo
When you
Rush
go
isn't going to
to
be
a
there for
show,
every
you
tour,
don't
but yeah.
just expect to see the talents, you expect to see the champions. Not
Hmm.
all of them, and not all of them defending their titles, but you expect to see champions at the show. That FTR haven't been on just a regular show or tour, it annoys me. That
Hmm.
Anderson has prioritized being in WWE versus being here, it annoys me. So I do agree. I feel that the titles need to be defended more by people willing to be available for the
Hmm.
NJPW schedule, because that's the company putting the trust in you to carry
Hmm.
that title. You
Yeah,
taking it and going away is you not only letting the company down, but it's letting us fans down.
very much so. I 100% agree with that. But yeah.
Hmm.
So we
So,
move on to the semi-main event of the evening. It is the finals of the Super Junior Tag League. It is Leo Rush and Yo taking on the Bullet Clubs, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay. I I was excited for this final. I love
mhm.
both these two teams. I've been raving about them all. I'm a big fan of Leo Rush. I think his attitude has been perfect for chaos because they need a little more chaos in their lives, man. They really do.
That is not the point of the name, sir. That is not the point of the name. You also he is appropriately named. I'm going to say this. I had the light bulb moment today. He is appropriately named. He calls himself the bad child. He is literally that kid in the back seat poking everyone, going, "Ha ha, not touching you. Ha ha, not touching you," and pissing everybody off,
Good
including
job.
the
Good job.
parents.
I was that
Including
kid.
the parents.
I was that kid. So
Yeah,
maybe that's
well,
why. Maybe that's why I'm down with Leo Rush. Could be that. But honestly,
there's a reason why I'm an only child and why I'm choosing not to have any.
yeah, dude, absolutely phenomenal match. Like I couldn't have asked for anything better out of a Super Junior Tag League final than this. Every guy was pulling out everything they do. Springboard run from Leo like early on, man, just the crazy Leo hitting that wheelbarrow splash where he like pulls him with the wheelbarrow and just Leo just smashes Yo down on top of him. Dude, they like the corner enziguri, then the corner splash, and the drop toe hold into the double stomp that Bullet Club does. Just
Mhm.
and the way Ace Austin does that enziguri where he like kind of like hand off the back of Bay to get himself height and just sweeps in with that kick. Oh, like dude, Ace Austin is just like his style is so good, man. Ace getting that Fujiwara armbar and then the cut in the finger, like doing the card in the finger.
Paper cut is what he calls it.
Oh, yeah, oh no, I know, but it's just I always go whenever I see that. It's just it
Mm.
bothers me because it's just like oh man, but no, it just so many crazy spots from all these guys. Ace Austin's on the apron, gets a PK. This is like flip back and forth. It's a PK on Yo. Then Bay hits a tope con hilo onto Yo. Then Leo Rush comes through, hitting a lope to Bay on the floor. And this is where Ace Austin comes and hits a Fosbury flop onto to Leo and Yo on the floor. Like just absolutely phenomenal. Just the crazy stuff coming out. And then right after that, Yo then hits a Falcon Arrow on the floor to Ace Austin. Like,
Mhm.
dude, it just there's so much like high impact, high speed, everything from this team. Bay hit a black mass on Leo at one point that spin like the Aleister Black spin kick to the jaw. It literally
Mhm.
and it just straight on. Looks so good. In the end, Leo hits the low pay on Bay on the floor, and Leo comes in and hits the final hour frog splash, and then Yo fires up, hits the direct drive, gets the win. Dude, absolutely phenomenal match. 21 minutes, 10 seconds. Like I think longer would have been too much. A little bit shorter, I think could have trimmed a little bit of fat out of the match.
Yeah,
But
I could have done with like
absolutely
5 minutes less.
yeah, like trim out the 3 to 5 minutes. But again, I was still very happy with this 21 minutes. These guys did so much, and they like dude, this match was probably one of the best matches I've watched in the Super Junior side of the tournament.
It's interesting because I actually disagree.
Oh,
I feel that we actually not the last show but the show beforehand we saw a lot more matches that could have been comparable to this guy. Not to say that this wasn't a good match. I really enjoyed it. But I did feel that I enjoyed some more matches in the tournament. Not a fan of the Dermis Destroyer that Bullet Club does. I feel that was stolen, and I don't feel it was given permission to be stolen.
what? It was lent to them by their stablemate ELP. Come on.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that because I don't pay attention to their
Literally,
bullshit that they
ELP
do.
is technically their stablemate in Bullet Club, and they were doing it with ELP over on New Japan Strong. So
That's probably
it's all
why,
good.
because I don't like to suffer Alex Kozlov. So the
It's not
emotion
that bad.
between
He's not that bad.
yes, he is. Leo and Bay focusing on a lot of emotions in this match, um, getting the better of Leo at several points in time, where Yo actually had to show some um, what's the word I'm trying to say, showmanship, and get out there and try to be an emotional buffer for Leo.
That was cool. I like that he was
Yeah,
the voice of reason because Leo was just going insane. Because if
yeah,
he would have just kept the punches up, he would have got them disqualified.
which would not have been good in this situation, because I would not have liked to see Bullet Club in
I
a
would have been
Wrestle
fine with
Kingdom
it.
spot.
I would have been
Um,
fine with it.
yeah, um, I just I appreciate that Leo has brought out the showmanship in Yo.
Mm.
I don't feel it's quite where it could be, but it's moving gives me hope, because that means that he can only get better. And if he takes the same route as Hikuleo has, he can only get better and better and better. Um, there's one point where there was Ace Austin did a dive outside of the ring. He ends up upside down. Um, I just called it a Mayu Iwatani esque
No, that
disregard for
where he
your
goes where he
bodies.
goes where he goes over the top and does the backflip over the top rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Fosbury flop.
Yeah, I don't know that. I just called
I
that going and
I literally said it like 2 minutes ago. Come
You
on, it's a
said what
Fosbury
the
flop.
move was. You didn't say what the definition of it was. You know I don't know move names. I'm the pretty
Learn.
face who goes, this guy looks good. He did stuff. But yeah, it was a Mayu Iwatani moment for me, because as soon as he went into the air, I was like, dude, who is catching you? Did you look? Yes, he is looking. He's upside down and looking the whole time. But yeah, other than that, there was one point at the end there. Did you see it, like, because you said you were watching it sped up? There was one point at the end where it just
No, I didn't. Not this one. I didn't watch this one sped up. It was
oh,
the
okay.
Never title. It was because I was just where I was in the morning. I needed to speed it up.
But there seemed to be a point at the end, right before the finish with the direct drive, where it just seemed to be like just an endless sequence of moves, where it was like Yo did something on Bay, and then Bay did something on Yo, and then Yo did something on Austin, and Austin did something on Leo, and then Leo did something on Bay, and then Bay did something on Yo, and it was just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It seemed like everyone was doing endless stuff until they just weren't.
Yeah.
It felt, and I hate the word sometimes, but it felt a little less organic. It felt very North American. How there was at one point Bay's waiting, crouched in the corner, waiting for the next thing to come up because he reacted too quickly or something like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I felt that the match went very, very well. I felt that the end was very appropriate. And I did have to watch this match 3 times to get notes on it because I would be very invested in the beginning of it, and then part of the middle of it would lose me, and I wouldn't be able to see the finish. So I'd have to go back, and I don't want to start in the middle. I'd go watch the whole thing. I'd get through a little bit more, and then it would lose me, and I'd have to go back to the beginning and watch it full the third time.
I watched it one time and I have a crap ton of notes.
I mean, and this is why wrestling is so amazing, right? Because it's so subjective. You and I both got something completely different out of this match, but we both had a great ride with it. So, like, wrestling, it's awesome. We should move on to talk about that main event, though, because
dude. So after the match, the Leo and Yo did get their trophies, celebrated a bit in the ring, but left pretty darn quickly, comparatively to most people when they went. We will get to that more later. But we move on to the main event. It is the World Tag League final. It is Bishamon, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto taking on the best team in professional wrestling in Aussie Open, other than maybe TMDK. This match was really good until the end for me, because this one let me down at the end. But again, that's a personal feeling. But yeah, dude, there's so much in this match. Dude, so much. This match was 28 minutes and 22 seconds. I will say I could have. This is another one where you could have taken a few minutes out, and I think it would have trimmed up some of the slow points in it. But but also the slow points in this match also did help build, like when these guys were all like staggering. I think it really built how much the damage each man, all four men were taking in this, man. Um, there's just some crazy spots. There was a table spot where that Aussie Open had set up a table, then they moved away from it, and then a little bit later, Goto ended up GTRing Aussie Open or not, through Kyle Fletcher through the table. Like, holy crap! Like, that looked great. Like, simple, like honestly, simple back bump for Fletcher through a table, but the way they did it just looked like, oh, because he's coming down with the elbow through the table. It looked great. I thought absolutely phenomenal. There's so much in this. I'm not going to go through everything, but I finally found out what the tag team name of that Ushi-Giroshi kick thing they do. It's called the violent. I think it's the Violet Thrash. Yeah, Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton called it the Violent Thrash, which is where he's got him on the shoulder and he kicks him and then he Ushi-Giroshis him off. It's called the Violent Thrash.
That move.
It's an interesting, but I finally actually, at least I know the name of it now. There was a really cool spot. Davis had, I think it was Yoshi up like this in the black, like the same way Archer does the blackout. And Kyle Fletcher came in and just grabbed the leg of Yoshi and flipped him up, and Fletcher or Davis came through with the blackout. But I like the way he did it, having Fletcher like whipped him up, so he's like rotating around him before he slams him down with the extra speed. I thought, wow, I really like the variation on the blackout like that. I thought, oh, that was great. The end of the match, so Goto hits a clothesline to the back of the neck of, I think it was Davis, and you get a dragon suplex by Yoshihashi, and then he gets super kicked by Yoshi, or the Fletcher comes in and gets super kicked by Yoshihashi, and they hit the Shoto, and then the dragon suplex power bomb, and Bishamon gets the big win. I will say this: I was disappointed because on my heart of hearts, I wanted Aussie Open to win this. Like, it wasn't TMDK. I wanted Aussie Open. And I wanted that Aussie once TMDK was, I wanted that Aussie Open rematch so bad with FTR, because that October 1st match, honestly, is probably my number 2 or 3 match of this year. And dude, like, I've said in the past, I'm not the biggest Bishamon fan. They always have good, solid matches. It's hard for me to get behind Goto and Yoshihashi. Both have been doing phenomenal work this year. Nothing against them. It's just a personal thing. I targeting around them. So like now going into Wrestle Kingdom, as much as I want the titles to be back in New Japan being defended regularly, I want FTR to beat Bishamon.
I feel badly saying this, but I don't think Bishamon can take FTR. I don't think they can. And they're 2-time winners now of World Tag League now, and all of that. But like, did you hear the statistics that Chris Charlton said at the beginning of the match? So
No.
Bishamon, since forming as a tag team, officially as a tag team, has actually only had 78 tag matches together. Aussie Open has had 263 since forming as a tag team.
Okay, but to that factor is Fletcher and Davis formed a couple years prior to Goto and Yoshi, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not.
No, I don't think so. Kyle Fletcher's 22.
Yeah, and he only
Bishamon's been wrestling for, I remember them for at least 3 or 4 years. And even if Fletcher and Davis are wrestling that much, they should be. That's not even double. Double their matches don't even equal that numbers, that's saying something about experience and also about knowledge about each other, right? When they said that, I was like, dude, that this is in the bag. Like, there's no way they out experience Bishamon in this one. Um, I really dug the new gear from Aussie Open.
Oh yeah.
The accent, the more green, the more gold, the really cool new cape. I like capes. You know, I'm very Edna mode. I'm very concerned about the functionality of capes, but they look super nice. You know, I'm
Oh
always
no,
worried that
no. Goto Bishamon's only been a team since October 23rd, 2020, officially as a tag team, and then Aussie Open's been a tag team since 2017. So that number makes a lot more sense because they've been tagging together almost
it still doesn't
3
make
years
sense for
more.
Bishamon to have a win over Aussie Open though.
Oh, I agree. Bishamon should not have won this. I 100%
I
think
feel
that.
it does not
Again,
justify the outcome of this match, sir.
no, but like, I still think I 100% think Aussie. I think TMDK should be the winners of World Tag League. But again, that's my crazy mind to me. Them being one of my favorite tag teams of all time. But Aussie Open should have easily won this match because that match versus FTR is a much bigger match, in my personal opinion. Bishamon and FTR going to be a good match, but FTR and Aussie Open, that is that is a potential to have a 5-star classic on January 4th.
Let's finish talking about this one before we start talking about that one, because I have opinions on that one too about the stylings.
Yeah.
There was at one point the run around the ring that Aussie Open does with the opponents, where they run around the ring and then just slam into each other. I really liked that. I loved Fletcher calling out moves to Davis while they were doing that, because usually they just run around and do the bump. This one they did the bump, then they followed up with the apron, then they followed it up with the suplex on the outside. I really liked that, because Fletcher again calling it the whole time. Really showed the unity that they have, and that they know each other very well. Aussie Open. Oh, okay. This was the part where things started to concern me. When Bishamon was getting obliterated by Aussie Open in the beginning part of this match.
That was great.
I mean, it is, right? But as an NJPW fan, you always got to remember in the back of the head, NJPW does have their certain templates that they like to follow. They're obviously wildly and drastically different based on who is inside of it and whatever. But the template usually is they will give the most to the people who are not winning the matches at the beginning of the matches and not so much at the end. So it was when Bishamon started like at this point, and after that, the spot I had mentioned with the runaround and the apron and the suplex on the outside, I went, oh shit, they're not winning this match.
Yeah,
And
I felt the pattern. I was like,
yeah,
no.
it's I feel like after it's like kind of like this in any company that you watch, though, right? After a certain amount of time, you start to pick up. There's certain things that they like to do. This is one of NJPW's. At that point, it was a matter of I picked my side at that point, and every time Bishamon started doing well, I was like, no, stop that, please. Goto sending Fletcher into the barricade at one point. Fletcher took that bump so crazy. He was just like, wee, over top of that barricade. It just disappeared. He was all legs. Got followed up by Davis doing the same thing to Goto, though. So, live and learn, Goto. Don't throw people over the barricades. There was a top rope backflip by Fletcher to the outside on Goto. That was super impressive. Kid's super athletic. I love it. I said Davis with his spinning thing, where he got Yoshihashi up on the shoulders and then started just spinning and let him go.
Oh, the inverted Samoan drop.
Yeah, sure.
He's got he gets him almost up for a Samoan drop, but he's facing the other way. And then he spins around and then he drops down and he drops down with him.
Like he spun and spun.
I essentially call it like an airplane's like an inverted Samoan drop with an airplane spin mixture is what I look at it as.
We'll call it the airplane. That's all I got to say on that guy. You kind of got all of the other notes that I had.
I apologize again. I'm sorry. It was a good match. And then after the match, Leo comes out and Chaos. I didn't actually listen to Leo's speech. I was coming up on time. I had to go to work, so I ended up not getting to. I don't really know what he has in the speech, but again, I knew it was going to be probably a thank you and blah blah blah. Blah. Oh, we're gonna win this championship at Wrestle Kingdom. It's something of that sort. I was assuming. But yeah, but the fact that Chaos as a group, that's why I guess why they took off so quickly after the match. Because again, I like seeing that Chaos as a unit had that celebration all as one. I did like that.
Showing their first bit of unity in the entire freaking tournament.
Yeah, just like LIJ, they're not unified.
It's not even. I know you're trying to take a jab at me because I love LIJ, but it was every faction but United Empire and House of Torture in this tournament. That was, House of Torture. Did you miss the second one? In fact, I'd say House of Torture was actually probably more unified because they were actually trying to help each other.
Yeah, but they're unified in being terrible people, where United Empires is unified in being awesome stand-up individuals. So,
hey, I mean, tomato, they're still doing functionally the same thing for their teams, though.
So we are going.
Chaos was doing, which is not what LIJ was doing.
Pure chaos. They're just pure chaos, is what they are. But before we go,
by their namesake.
So before we go, we want to swap over. We're going to talk about a couple things we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. That's in New Japan. First things first, we're going to be talking about this match. It's going to be happening on December 23rd. It's the final Suzuki Gun match in New Japan. There is Taichi and Despy Mania at the end of the year before Wrestle Kingdom. That's where Suzuki Gun's going to have their last stuff together. But you have Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, El Desperado, and Takumi Shinoku all teaming up to face Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Douki. I'm gonna watch this match. I'm probably gonna cry a little bit, and it's gonna bother me that these guys are, as a unit, aren't going to be working together as Suzuki anymore. And we'll get into that more when we talk about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this match very, very much so.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. It is going to be a sad match because we've grown so close to these teams. I remember when I first started watching watching New Japan, and Iska was still around and a part of that. So seeing Taka bring him in, similar to how Kashi Masaki brings in Fukigen Death on a dog collar, and he had the mouth guard. Oh, maybe that's what Alex Zayne needs. Oh, that would wreck his fancy mustache, though.
So yeah, that we're going to be talking about that on Shop Talk in a couple weeks, where we're also going to be breaking down the Top Talent show that we are going to see live here in Edmonton on December 22nd. But yeah,
if you want tickets to that, I will leave a link for that in the description box down below.
Come check it out. We're going to be there live. Come hang out with us. But we are also on January 4th. We are going to be watching Wrestle Kingdom 17th on stream, Twitch stream. I'm crazy excited to watch this. This whole thing looks amazing. We're going to quickly go through the matches, give our thoughts quickly before we get out of here. Pre-show is going to open with a 3-minute. I think they said 3-minute match. I think it was. It's a 3-minute showcase match for these guys. I'm just pulling it up. Just give me 1 second. I have it written down. Yeah, 3-minute exhibition match. Ryohei Oiwa versus Oleg Boltin or Bolton, whatever. I think that isn't it Oleg Boltin? Isn't it? Or is it Bolton Oleg?
The way Ryohei Oiwa is written is in the English way, so I assume it's Bolton Oleg.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around. I am an idiot. I could be wrong.
We will find out that day.
Probably. But yeah,
Kevin Gailey start announcing.
Yeah, but I think in 3 minutes just to give these guys a spot on the pre-show, I think actually a smart move, and especially with Oleg, who is still very new to New Japan proper. think it's a great way to showcase both these guys. And then the KOPW 2023 Provisional Rambo match. And the final 4 members of this match will face off in a 4-way match on January 5th at the return of New Year's Dash, baby. Yes, it's back. I don't have to deal with 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom anymore. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually where we're going to see Shingo Takagi because he wasn't on any other announced matches. So I think
the KOPW champion supposed to be involved in that. I guess Yano was.
Well, he's going to be he's officially the 2022 champion as of December 31st. He's officially that year's champion. So if he's going to be the champion of the year, it should be going into the match so he can keep his championship throughout the year. So because we crown a new champion new provisional champion starting on January 5th. So
he would have to lose that match, wouldn't he? I guess.
Well, no, because after December 31st, he's just now officially recognized as Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. But yeah, so we'll see where it goes. I think you're talking at least moves to January 5th. And then we're getting the Antonio Inoki. I'm going to highlight this one up. The Antonio Inoki Memorial match. It's a 6-man tag match. Yuji Nagata, the leader of the Bread Club, Satoshi Kojima, and Togi Makabe taking on the living legend himself, Tatsumi Fujinami, everybody's favorite murder grandpa, Minoru Suzuki, and another legend, Tiger Mask. Man, that match is going to be just bonkers good, man. I'm interested. Just for the class, I don't think it's going to be
the one team makes sense. Nagata, Kojima, Makabe, that's Hontai. That's the legends. They make sense. The other team, Tiger Mask seems a little misplaced there. I don't know.
But Suzuki's no longer part of a faction anymore, so I guess it's just free roaming people out on January 4th teaming up together. And this is another pre-show match, actually. I don't even know what you're saying, but okay. So this is the third. This is the third and final match on the pre-show, and then we move to the main card itself. It's going to kick off Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Leo Rush and Yo taking on Catch 22's TJP and Francesco Akira. Dude, it's a perfect way to start off the pay-per-view proper, man. Quick out of the gate. Let's go. And then we move on to the second match of the evening will be Tam Nakano challenging Kairi for the IWGP Women's Championship. This one I'm actually super looking forward to. So I love Kairi. Love me some Tam Nakano. And on the Wrestle Kingdom stage, man, this is going to be bonkers. This is going to be awesome just to see the crowd react for this. I'm super excited. I'm really hoping they get to cheer at this show. I don't want clapping. I need cheering.
Same. I would like to hear the cheering, especially for the ladies, because the ladies deserve it. They've worked,
and especially in the Tokyo Dome, which everything kind of funnels up to the top of the dome. You need the cops kind of funnel away. You need the yelling. You need the people. And then we move on to the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. Bishamon's Yoshihashi and Hiroki taking on FTR's Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler. I didn't think I was going to be saying this, but I want FTR to retain the titles. Like, I really didn't think that going into that match because I was like, Aussie Open's going to win. They're going to take the titles, keep them in Japan more. They're going to be in Japan more. But now I'm just like, let FTR keep the belts. Honestly, I'm okay with it.
I feel like I'm in the same boat, but I don't feel that NJPW people will be in the same boat. I'm concerned that we could see a title switching. And I'm concerned that title switching will start to begin to maybe lose some of the lackluster of the titles. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that it does stay on FTR because as much as I'm not really a big fan of FTR, I know what it is they're capable of doing. I think they're great wrestlers. They're just not a group that I'm.
Yeah, and not everybody is. Not everybody is.
That being said, though, I don't think they need to have every belt. Leave some.
They don't anymore. They dropped the ROH titles to the Briscoes. So yeah, they only have 2 belts left. They only have they dropped it. They only have AAA and IWGP at this point now. So
I mean, the Hellbilly Ninjas, though. Huh? Well, I mean, it takes all types.
So we move on to what I think is going to be one of the highlights of the evening, and as long as they're staying true to the rules of this title, it's gonna be a 15-minute match. No more than that. Zack Sabre Jr., Ren Narita. I am over the moon getting to watch this match. This is gonna be absolutely fun. Two technical wrestlers. I'm excited.
We got Shibata Jr. and Zack Sabre Jr. It's a battle of the juniors, essentially. This is going to be a phenomenal match. I have been waiting for this for so freaking long. Just give it
November 4th. Was it November 5th was the last time we saw anything to do with this tournament. So yeah, I'm ready. And that's the last time we saw Sabre. That's the last time we saw both of these guys, man. So I'm ready to see both these guys again. I'm so ready. But the only bad thing about this match is the title they're gonna get at the end looks like shit. So
it looks, I'm not gonna lie, now seeing Inaba's title, the Just Tap Out title, it looks like hers.
It looks bad. It just simply looks bad. It looks like a trophy style from the 70s, but it just looks like just bad.
Oh.
So we move on to a title that looks much nicer. The Never Open Weight Championship. Tama Tonga taking on the champion Carl Anderson. He's gonna see him at Wrestle Kingdom, bitch. That's pretty much what it is.
Hey, I mean, Tama Tonga's been he's kind of been a little quiet. I find that a little suspicious because Tama Tonga is not known for being quiet. So I'm interested to see the explosiveness of this match. This is going to be a very emotional match for these two guys. It's going to be a battle of the guns done.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm really hoping Tama gets that final gun stun of the match, man. I really do.
We'll see. We'll see. Whoever pulls it off first might have the win on that.
So remember how we watched that show on November 20th, and it was the final New Japan match of Great Muta. We were talking a lot. Well, they did specifically say the final New Japan match of Great Muta. We're getting the final New Japan match of Keiji Muto this time, as he teams up with Tanahashi Jr., Shota Umino, and Hiroshi Tanahashi to take on LIJ's Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, and Bushi. Dude, this is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a great match. But that's not Tanahashi Jr. That's like Tanahashi from like 20 years ago. That's like Time Machine Tana.
Yeah, Junior. Okay, young Tanahashi, whatever.
We went back 20 years. Took Tana from 20 years ago, got him in this match.
Okay, but yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Tana team up with Keiji Muto. I'm excited for that. And I love the fact, because we were talking about Sanada not being part of Muta's last match. Sanada being part, I was thinking about it to myself. There's no way he's not part of some way in Muta's final match in the company. The fact that he's part of Keiji Muto's final match now makes a lot more sense why he wasn't part of the other match. I am perfectly okay with this. It's a disciple of Muto versus Muto. I'm happy to see this one.
It is the Aces versus the Ungovernables.
I'm excited for this. Well, two Aces and Shota Umino. But
Muto is the ace of Noah.
Yeah, I'm saying two Aces and then Shota Umino.
I mean, he's technically mini ace.
He's not. He has no right to call himself an ace right now.
He's mini ace. He's mace.
No, he's just Shota Umino. But we move on to we're moving on to a four-way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Taiji Ishimori defending against Hiromu Takahashi, El Desperado, and Master Wato. Dude, this is going to feel like those four-ways from years ago when it was the junior tag titles in the four-ways opener. That's what I have a feeling this is going to be. It's going to be that crazy, just it's constantly going kind of match.
I agree.
No, you're obviously not into this match. Okay, interesting.
That was the vodka processing from Malball's Mix that I filmed before coming on here.
But moving on to the semi-main event of the evening, my main event of the night. It's the best professional wrestler in professional wrestling. Will Ospreay crowns up for the United States, the IWGP United States champion, taking on what most people call the best belt machine, Kenny Omega. Dude, when they announced this on the November 20th show, you saw my reaction on that live stream. I was giddy as hell, dude. Yes, I am ready for this. This match has been brewing since their 6-man tag on Dynamite. Kenny kept coming out and having Justin Roberts calling Osprey's favorite wrestler during his long ass entrances things. Dude, I'm ready. I am ready, and we get to see Don, and we're probably going to see Don Callis. So that's a big plus in my opinion. Don Callis on commentary, baby.
You know what? I hope we do. Because when Minoru Suzuki comes out, I hope that little bitch runs.
Yeah, but
I hope
Minoru's
he
going to be
runs
wrestling
like
earlier in the night.
Milano did from
He ain't coming
Atlanta.
out till this match. He ain't coming out till this match.
Yeah,
Come on.
because he's a puss.
I would run from Suzuki too. 100%. I would run from Minoru Suzuki. I would run from Minoru. You would run from Minoru Suzuki. You know you would.
I am a woman. I would not be running from Minoru Suzuki. He would be nice to me because I have boobies.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that point, but okay. And we move on to the main event of the evening. It's Kazuchika Okada, the winner of the G1, cashing in to take on the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Jay White. This is going to be an amazing main event. But for me, I think I'm going to be spent before they even get to this match after with the semi-main event. I'm going to be like, oh, main event time. That's how I'm going to feel at like 5 a.m. in the morning when this starts.
I was going to say, by the time this main event starts, it's probably going to be 5 a.m. and we are going to be exhausted.
And this is going to go like another 45 minutes. You know it's going to. It's Wrestle Kingdom main event.
I mean, just so we don't go too much longer in what we're doing here, I suspect we're going to see a very new look from Okada. I'm hoping to see a new robe. I'm hoping to see new gear from Jay White. I'm hoping to see fun Wrestle Kingdom intros. And I am hoping to see a retaining in this main event. I am hoping that Jay White does retain.
Yeah, me too, 100%. But that brings us to an end of the show. I want to give a big shout out to Rogue Energy for being a sponsor here. You can go to rogueenergy.com or scan the QR code in the bottom right corner. Use the code OLEPODS for 10% off your order. I also want to thank our friends over at OLEPODS. On Twitch, you can find them at our local establishment and on Instagram at OLE Podcast. So yeah, and then I want to give a big shout out to our good buddy Mike the Ref for simulcasting all of our stuff on his channel. Thank you so much, buddy, for being such a great partner to us. And to everything we do. You can check him out on Backbreak Video up here. Also find him on twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. He's there every Wednesday for doing Dynamite watch-alongs. He's there multiple nights a week playing video games. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. If you are watching us on Backbreaker Video right now, please check us out up here at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk on YouTube and on Facebook.
I'm just goofing around over here because of vodka. Andre, if we're wanting to follow you on social media, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at That Canada Guy, Instagram at That Canada, random other social medias at That Canada Guy. And you can find me on Facebook through the Andre Melball Wrestling Talk Facebook page.
We're constantly posting stuff on there to be a part of the conversation. So come in and talk to Andre and myself. For me, if you're looking to find a Melball on Twitter, you can find me at Collins Melball, or you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Melball Collins. And if you're also wanting to watch NJPW, I will leave a link in the description box down below. It is 920 yen or $10 Canadian for me, or maybe a little less for you Americans whose dollars are doing a little bit better than our Canadian dollar. And also, before we forget, also for our Wrestle Kingdom show, we are trying to confirm a second guest. We are waiting on the second one, but we have confirmed one for certain, and that one is not going to be affected by the nighttime hours at all because they are used to being up that late. You can see Andre shouting out our special guest, and that guest is going to be the one and only local sensation, the Omen, Gabriel Lestat. He'll be joining us live because it will be after midnight, and it is the witching hour for him, so he will be awake and happy to catch some professional wrestling. So you don't want to miss that come out and say hi to your local vampire. And
Yeah,
with
so that's
that all being
oh.
said, Andre's got more.
I was just gonna say that's gonna actually start at 2 a.m. Eastern, 12 Mountain. That's our time, with the pre-show going, and then I think the pay-per-view will be at 3 a.m. Eastern, 1 Mountain. So
we will be functioning exclusively almost on Rogue Energy because we are going to need it. And that being said, I am your Melba. Shout out to Astrid. That is your Andre over there. We will catch you next time. Adios.